The March 13th meeting Mr. Dean had with the President shows on the President's log as having run from 12:42 to 2 o'clock, an 80-minute meeting approximately. The President's log also shows that I was in that meeting for 12 minutes, from 12:43 to 12:55. Mr. Dean has testified that this was a long meeting, mainly regarding the Gray hearings and Dean's invitation to appear there. He says that toward the end of the conversation, they got into a discussion of Watergate matters and the question of money demands being made by the defendants. He says that it was during this conversation that Haldeman came into the office for a brief interruption, but that Haldeman then stayed on. It was then, Dean says, that he told the President there was no money to pay the individuals. The President asked how much it would cost. Dean estimated $1 million. The President said that was no problem and looked over at Haldeman and repeated that statement. Dean then goes on to describe a conversation regarding executive clemency and then back to the question of money, ending with a laugh from me at Dean's comment that next time he would be more knowledgeable. The log, however, shows that I was in for 12 minutes at the beginning of the meeting and not at the end. I have no notes on the March 13th meeting, and I have no recollection of that meeting at all. I do not recall going into the President's office and interrupting the meeting with John Dean, but I'm sure that I did if the log so indicates. However, I seriously doubt that the conversation John Dean has described actually took place on March 13th. I doubt it because of the difference in timing as shown in the President's log, but I also doubt it because a discussion of some of those matters actually occurred during a meeting on March 21st. There is also a timing problem regarding the meeting of March 21st, since Dean has stated that I was only in that meeting for the last 5 minutes or so when the President called me in to suggest that a meeting be set up with John Mitchell. My log indicates that I was in a meeting with the President from 11:15 to 11:55 on the morning of March 21st. I do recall that meeting, and I recall being in it for substantially more than the 5 minutes Mr. Dean remembers. I was not present for the first hour of the meeting, but I did listen to the tape of the entire meeting, including that portion before I came in. While I'm free to testify to everything which I can recall happening during the time I was present, the President has directed that I not testify as to any facts which I learned solely by listening to the tape of the meeting.